founded in 1885. Before the Second World War, Werke AG is one of Germany's largest car manufacturers. In 1932, Auto Union takes over the Chemnitz manufacturer.
1938 and 1939, three Wanderer race cars take part in the 4,700 kilometers long Liege-Rome-Liege rally. In the chaos of war, the three original Wanderer Streamline Specials go missing. Under contract from Audi AG, restaurateur Werner Zinke builds three exact replicas.
Our aim was to build this car here between 95 to 99% according to the original. A few longitudinal parts were still available from the frame. We've used as many original parts as possible, like those in use at the time. One had to imagine how the engineers at that time did it, and then it succeeded by itself. There was no other solution, and that was very exciting.
The only 900-kilogram Roadster delivers 70 horsepower. Its top speed is considerable for the time, 160 kilometers an hour. The baptism of fire for the three Roadsters is when they participate in the rally Liege-Rome-Liege.
At that time, they were indeed new vehicles, so it is comparable with today's requirements. But to drive 4,700 kilometers in one stretch, that is obviously quite extraordinary. I can imagine driving that with a car like this. I also hope that we would get there after 2,000 kilometers.
The route of the new rally models went through the Ardennes, the Vosges, the Jura, the Alps, Aosta Valley and Tuscany in 6 days. This corresponds to a distance of about 2,300 kilometers. The participants traveled through a total of 4 countries on their way to Rome: Belgium, Luxembourg, France, and Italy. Shortly after its launch in 1931, the 4,500-kilometer-long rally Liege-Rome-Liege is considered as the supreme international reliability test. Stopping is allowed only for refueling. The driver teams have to cover a section of at least 50 kilometers per hour on the roads at that time, with more than 100 hours of continuous driving. The reconstructed Wanderer Streamline cars are on their test. For the drivers, the same applies. They also have to get used to handling of the sports cars.
It is quite light at the back. There's nothing in the rear. We're sitting quite near the front. You can tell every time you are in a turn, you have to hold the steering wheel. The car goes back and off to the left or to the right. One has quickly then to get hold of it again. One must be very careful so that it doesn't just break out.
Not only the historical material challenges the driver, even the weather holds unpleasant surprises in the mountains, fog and rain. The actual rally has not degenerated into a coffee trip in any way. For the small Panhard Dinner Jr., it's clearly too much. It fights its way up the mountain with great difficulty. Driver Jérôme Cornet has a blessing in disguise. He cannot overcook the Panhard. It is air-cooled.
Ce qui se passe, c'est que I had to climb in the first gear, and the engine don't recognize it. So I have a matter of carburetor, a big problem since 3 days. That is the carburetor, there's too much petrol. The jets are not okay. The jets are too large, so it's not powerful enough. I miss 25 kilometers in top speed, but I think I have to go to Rome this way.
The two-cylinder boxer engine recovers again after a short break. 33 horsepower from 850 cubic centimeters are just not predestined to easily reach lofty heights. The drivers sit for more than 10 hours a day behind the wheel and have to cope with daily stages which are up to 480 kilometers long. The second half of the rally takes place exclusively in Bella Italia. Franz Josef Fagan and his co-pilot Herbert Welke are confident in the Wanderer with start number 19.
The car is fantastic. It has almost no weaknesses. A slightly complicated rear axle, but it is fun to drive.
Positive emotions are the most important component of a successful rally. In Italy, classic cars are observed without envy and resentment like nowhere else in the world. People share their honest enthusiasm with the drivers. A refueling stop in a small Italian town. Jérôme Cornet can only take a maximum of 30 liters of fuel on board and has to get everything out of his panhard in order not to fall behind in the rally.
I run 200 kilometers with a little more than 22 meters, which is very important as consumption. Usually it needs 7.5. Oh, we have to go.
The team with the Audi tradition leads the team standings. The Coupe de Constructeur is within reach. But then one Wanderer has a defect. The team needs replacement parts that are not on site. Werner Zinke spontaneously sets off from Svonitz, 1,200 kilometers away from Grosseto, with spare parts.
We suspected that, as with the other car, the drive shaft is broken here. The effect was exactly the same. Then we looked up, we took the wheel off, and the whole bearings out. We saw then that this part, which is a turned part, was broken in there.
In a long night, the mechanics repair the Roadster. All three Wanderers are back on the road to Rome. 17 of the 105 starters have to give up prematurely, a fate that, despite all efforts, has also struck the team of Thomas Frank.
Unfortunately, history repeats itself. I think in 1938 we also failed for similar reasons, 30 kilometers before the finish, maybe even right here. Now we are down also because we failed. Now just 2 out of 3 cars make it. That's not bad.
2 of the 3 Wanderer Streamline Special sports cars reach Rome. The Rally Liege-Rome-Liege can be spoken in the same breath as the legendary Mille Miglia. And 2 of the 3 resurrected Wanderer racing cars have reached the goal and passed their baptism of fire. A good average.